Hey, awesome people of YouTube, welcome back to another Warhammer 40k Darktide build video. As you've seen in a clip before, well, at the beginning of this video, um, we're going to be utilizing Void Strike Force Staff primarily, and it's not going to be a support build. It's going to be a lot of raw damage. Also, all of this is done on the highest difficulty, on standard, no, standard highest difficulty, not Auric. Um, I will be utilizing the, as before, my KBN MK2 Dueling Sword, and with perks instead of blessings, because blessings are not, they're alright. I'm still working on eventually getting a better sword, but I'm leveling the other characters right now. I'm utilizing the Voice Strike Staff. The Transfer Peril is not the greatest stuff. Sustained Fire will come in handy in this build. Other than that, the staff is pretty decent. I got different Curios, again, max health. In higher difficulty helps a little. Curious Mission Award. It's not the greatest, but it helps at least for now. Orthodox helps, and toughness. Toughness allows me to stay alive a little longer, and more money allows me to be eventually get more dueling swords and staffs. The other one, same thing. I have toughness, so I went with corruption resistance, so I don't get corrupted as easy, you know. So I have more actual health. Here I have sprint efficiency, orthodox, max health. Sprint efficiency allows me to, sprint more and keep up with the team when I'm doing lower difficulty just to spam them. Cosmetic doesn't matter. But let's look at the talents. I went with metal for critical hits, replenish 5% toughness, and increase my movement speed. No, since we'll be spamming and it will do a decent amount of crit, it helps. Perfect timing, more damage with crits. Stacks up to 5 times. We have Soul Stealer, replenish 15 toughness on warp attack skills. Since we're using our staff, it helps a lot because it also helps with kinetic flare, but we'll talk about it in a second. We have Perilous Combustion, killing elite or specialist enemies applies 4 stacks of Soul Blaze to nearby enemies, causing damage over time. We have Brain Rupture, which we actually don't really use because we use our staff. All attacks have 10% chance on hit to brain rupture the target. This cannot occur with critical peril. It has a 15 per second cooldown. So you want to not get into the peril where it's threat, pretty much. I understand sometimes it might be a bit hard, but normally it's pretty good. Wildfire, when the enemy dies while affected by your Soul Blaze, nearby enemies each gain 4 stacks of Soul Blaze. Pretty powerful. Just some more damage. Decreases ability cooldown for you and your allies incoherency by 5% in the lead on elite or specialist skills. Since you'll be killing elites and specialists pretty consistently, this allows you to use your ability for you and your allies faster. We have decreased cooldown, so we can use our venting strike to push enemies when we get swarmed, and allows my allies to use their abilities even more. I went with empathic evasion. Critical hits make you count as dodging. I would go with Mind in Motion, but unfortunately can't go that way. One with a warp, since I will be having decent amount of peril, it allows me to be more tankier. Vintage Strike for pushing enemies when we get swarmed by a horde. Big Counter Corruption, decreases my peril generation by 1% for each enemy hit, stacking 25 times. And when we get horde, you can push a lot of them. You can possibly probably get all 25, so allow you, to decrease your peril generation. Venting Shriek applies 1 to 6 stacks Soul Blazes to targets hit based on your current peril, which is pretty good. Warp Rider, increases my damage based on my peril. Puppet Master for Coherency Aura. It's not the greatest, but it's something. Solidity for Quell Speed, so I can lower my peril, so I can keep my kinetic flare active as much as possible. I've also Warp Siphon, killing the elite or specialist enemy gain you warp charge for 25 seconds, stacking 4 times. Your next combat ability spends over available warp charges, reduces the cooldown of my combat ability by 7.5%. I have Essence Harvest, replenishes 30 toughness over 5 seconds on gaining warp charge. When I get a new one, it refreshes the timer. I have the Imperial Empowerment, increases all base damage by 4% for each warp charge. Fireborn, kill an enemy with Soul Blaze, has 10% chance to grant you a warp charge. Since we're getting a lot of Soul Blazes, we can somewhat consistently proc our warp charge. And then War Battery, we can store up to 6. You can bypass Fire Reborn and go for Psychic Vampiric for whenever you or an ally in Coherency kill an enemy. You have 4% chance to gain a warp charge. It is also not bad. No? So, yeah, that works. You can substitute Venting Shriek for Telkine Shield. Either by going Boston Shield so you have more of it, or by going Telkine Dome. It's up to you. You can also substitute Seer Presence. If you have somebody with cooldown, you can go with pre-signs, just to get more credit. But more than likely, especially if you're doing higher tier, you can also go with Kinetic Presence, giving you 10% damage on Elite and Specialist for you and your allies, which can be pretty powerful. I did not take Kinetic Resonance, which is whenever I use my combo ability, make my Brain Rupture charge 75% faster and generate 50% less peril, 10 seconds. I don't pick it because we are actually not actively using our Brain Rupture. We're doing it through our staff, through our Kinetic Flare, which is why I didn't take it. It allows me to save 1 extra point, and that's why I went this way. You could go for replenish 2.5 toughness for every 10% peril generated, and then 10% chance to quell, 10% peril and kill. You could also go that way if you don't want to take more damage, if you want to spam it. You can also again go for Quietude, replenish 5 toughness for each 10% peril quell. Since you're trying to quell a little bit more, you get a little bit more toughness. That helps. And again, you can also go then with Battle Meditation. But that's about it for this build. There will be more video or more clips at the end to showcase the rest of the run. Again, it was done on the highest difficulty. With that said, this took a bit. So do leave a like, comment, especially subscribe. Let's grow this channel. Do have my Discord down in the description. And with that said, don't forget to stay awesome. I'll see you in the next one and enjoy the rest of the video. Bye bye.